Two veteran quarterbacks looking for a return to the playoffs. It's The Coach. This is Week 1 of the NFL on EA Sports. Coming up, two teams who stayed home for the playoffs last year start 2019 with high hopes. We'll see Matt Ryan of the Atlanta Falcons taking on Kirk Cousins and the Minnesota Vikings. I'll be back at halftime with a look at games in progress. But first, we get up to Minneapolis. Standing by our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Coach, a very warm day outside by Minnesota standards, but then again, it is still summer. Either way, the AC is working just fine at U.S. Bank Stadium in the Twin Cities. It can certainly get loud inside this building, and just a few moments ago when the Vikings were introduced, it was downright shaking in here. They're set for football as the Vikings get ready to do battle with Matt Ryan and the Atlanta Falcons. So happy to be with you, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis, and we thought it would never get here, but here we are back together. It's opening weekend of the 100th season in the NFL.
So much football to talk about. That's our main focus. But how about how much happened in the offseason? Rules changes. Overtime rules were discussed in a big way. Some superstars changed addresses. There's a whole lot to talk about in the NFL in addition to this game we're getting ready to watch.
The man back in purple in 2019, Dan Bailey, to get us started. And we are underway from downtown Minneapolis. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They'll be led out by the third overall pick of the 2008 draft, the man they call Natty Ice, quarterback Matt Ryan.
Always knew he'd be a gym rat, very cerebral player. A guy that beats you with his mind as well as his physical attributes. The best part, poise under pressure. He knows how to bring a team back in the fourth quarter.
Now Ryan on first down. This one complete to Mohamed Sanu. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here.
Mohamed Sanu is a guy that is often overlooked because he just quietly goes about his business. But how about last season? Had a career-high 838 yards on 66 catches, and he can also play wildcat quarterback for you as well.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
Brad, I think we can see early on they're making a concerted effort to get him the football. So to me, that means they like the matchup that they have. They feel like he's better than the guys that are covering him.
2 plays, 2 passes. We'll see if they go back to that well. 23 yards on the play. And now he's really knocking on the door for 700. That is career catch 699. Now a play fake here on first down. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's second down.
But that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
It'll be a pickup of only a yard, and that's going to bring out the third down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. This Minnesota D up to the task on the third down pass play. Maybe a little over-anxious in the pocket there. He just didn't look comfortable on that throw.
No, he didn't, because it wasn't his normal fluid delivery. And I think you might have had it right. Wasn't really confident with what he saw downfield and almost felt like he wanted to pull that one back.
Well, all offseason, probably a lot of thought goes into that first drive of week 1. They didn't get the touchdown, but at least they got something.
And what I like about it is that they didn't overthink it, because you're exactly right. A lot goes into the offseason, the preseason, to get to that first drive of the regular season. They went right downfield, mission accomplished, points on the board.
Yellow. On the line. Here we go.
Here's the former number 2 pick, the Pro Bowler Saquon Barkley. A big run there, 29 yards and a first.
Coming in, he really liked his chance of having a big year based on a terrific offseason. And runs like that on opening weekend show that he's right.
From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line. They'll run with Barkley. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside of the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
From the 38, Mahomes escaping the pressure right. 27 yards there, a first down.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a first down.
Mahomes now on first down. And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Adrian Claiborne able to take him down. It's a loss of 3. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. If you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that. Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Once you get into the red zone and the safeties have less ground to cover, you'd better be quick with your delivery. Not much space to get a ball in there.
Yeah, when that field shrinks with those safeties, it's almost like there's a couple extra defenders out there, right?
It certainly is. They end up taking up extra space just because there's not enough space for receivers to run through.
Looks like the offense is going to take another shot here. They're going on 4th and 13. Now, meanwhile, they go for it on 4th down, and my goodness, incomplete. Boy, it looked like it. And dropped it. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. Here are the Falcons as their offense heads back onto the field. They finished off their opening drive of the campaign with a field goal on the last drive. Now they'll search for a touchdown here on this go-around. 1st and 10. A throw left side to start out. That's complete. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on 1st down. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Here's a throw out wide complete to his running back right side. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And a good quarterback facing zone. Coverage, if he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. He can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl. 50, maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Throwing now, Ryan on first down. And finding the tight end, Hooper. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9.
Brandon, they didn't get everything they wanted out of that play, but the tight end did. And I don't mean it in a positive way. Great job of him holding on after absorbing that big hit.
The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches had told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
9 yards that time.
And Falcons fans everywhere excited that Devontae Freeman is back on the field wearing number 24 in the red and black. Remember, he went down in week 2 in 2018 with an injury and didn't return. They're hoping to see the form that led him to 1,000-yard seasons in 2015 and 2016.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They've become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense. The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Here's Bosher to kick it away. This fielded at the 2. And not a bad return. Here he gets it out to the 25-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach, because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot. They keep it with Barkley on first down. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 6-0 our score after 1. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they've got it with a 2nd and 14 upcoming. Throwing on 2nd and 14. Barkley. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. Call it a loss of 12 that time. And it's going to be 3rd down and forever. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. To throw, it's Mahomes. Open man is Thielen. It's complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Vikings. Adam Thielen, 79 yards. And the Vikings have tied it. They can grab the lead with a PAT. And correct me if I'm wrong, that was just a simple fly route, wasn't it?
No, there's nothing to correct at all. You got it down pat. And I just remember as a player, when I'd be in practice sessions and I'd hear 9 from the receivers, that meant fly route, go, look out. That was the 9, and he just kept going all the way into the end zone for the touchdown.
Dan Bailey now for the extra point. And he puts it through. The drive summary, 4 plays, 75 yards. And it's polished off by a Viking score. Bailey now to kick it away after the touchdown. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll elect not to return this one, so they'll bring it out to the 25 on the touchback. A reminder coming up later tonight, the Patriots unfurl their 6 banners. They play host to their rival Steelers. And then on Monday night, it's the one weekend of the year where you get 2 games to wrap up the week. Texans and Saints from New Orleans in the early game, then Broncos and Raiders. Vic Fangio's coaching debut, and the Raiders' final season opener in Oakland. That's the late game, 10:30 Eastern. Ryan will bring the Falcons up now, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Ryan, the left side completion to Jones. And he's taken down but able to slip across the 35. Nice way to start the drive, a gain of 12 and a 1st down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Nothing on that one. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
And he fires one that's intercepted. It's the Pro Bowler Luke Kuechly that picks it. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line.
Well, this is a defense that can confuse even the best of quarterbacks with their zone schemes. And here you've got a linebacker that's going to stay at home and just sit down in that zone. And this one basically comes right to him.
A 1st down carry for Barkley. He's got the 1st down here inside the 30. A tremendous play there from Saquon Barkley. 41 yards. So close. Couldn't get all the way in, knocking on the doorstep down the 1. Nevertheless, fantastic run.
Not only that, this is where you wave to your...
And he will fight his way into the end zone for a touchdown. It's a 1-yard touchdown run, and the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. A 1-yard run on 1st down, another yard that gets him into the end zone on 2nd down. Maybe not much for the yards per carry average, but hey, 6 points.
Yeah, bottom line is it doesn't matter there. You've got to find a way to wedge it into the end zone. Yards per carry, that's out the window. How do you score? And on the 2nd down, they had something going. They got a yard before. They thought they could do it again, and they got it done.
Extra point up and good by Bailey. And the lead is up to 8. 1 play, 2 plays, touchdown. That's all it took there. A very short and sweet drive that got him in the end zone. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. Now they're about to come up on drive number 4, but so far just 2 field goals on drives 1 through 3.
Wondering if the head coach has talked with his offense coordinator and said, look, let's go ahead and press this a little bit. I'm giving you 4 downs on just about every occasion to try and get this offense kick-started and have it culminate in touchdowns. You know, maybe someday you press it a little bit. This might be the case.
Ryan and the Falcons now come up 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Ryan going to give it to Freeman. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Plays like we just saw there. That's why they're up right now. And the defense, they're doing their job.
Yeah, it starts with the guys up front. So when you talk with GMs who are putting together a team, a lot of them say we're going to go from the inside out, because if you control the line of scrimmage, you control the rest of the ball game, and that's what we're seeing here. They're actually playing in the offense's backfield, not necessarily just playing at the line of scrimmage. He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check-down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, the big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he could scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. Here's Stephon Diggs as he and the rest of the offense get ready to go again. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. They'll start out on the ground. It's Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Now Saquon Barkley. Now Barkley stripped of the football, and the Falcons grab it, and he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free, made a big play.
A full 5-yard loss that time. It's going to make second down pretty tough. A full start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. Here's Ryan looking downfield for Jones. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. He was looking for Julio Jones, his Pro Bowl receiver, but it'll be second down.
But one thing's for sure, when you get a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. The Falcons on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 5. Out of the gun, it's Ryan. And that will be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good. Was a kicker from that distance, 56, 57 yards. So many things you got to worry about, but I am a little surprised he didn't get it there.
Yeah, with the way kickers are nowadays, we're surprised anything under 65 that it doesn't get at least to the crossbar. But remember this. You have to drive it a little bit lower in order to make that distance, and you also have to be worried about the interior rush that they can get their hands on it. So that's why those stronger kickers nowadays who can pop it up in the air and still travel and carry it, that's who you're looking for.
And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. It's a gain of 35.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him, but don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
Well, they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
Yeah, nobody leaked. Big play. Now here's Mahomes, and nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Devondre Campbell, the linebacker, picks it. The 40, 20, 10, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown. short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Tavecchio good on the extra point, and the lead is cut to 1 at 14-13. This is taken at the 3. Then he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. I'm sure he wanted to have a huge game, wants to have a huge game as the quarterback, but really on the ground, they've been very, very hard to stop. Maybe you just keep going to that well.
I think so, and isn't it funny how the definition of balance changes for us from game to game? Sometimes it's 50-50, run it, throw it. Sometimes it's just being a balanced running team in terms of who's carrying the football.
More than one guy.
Right, multiple guys out there, and now your guy back there has to throw it. Don't have to worry about it quite as much.
And they've got the lead here in the second quarter. The big play to start him out has him at the 45 already. Mahomes going to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. It's caught inside the 25. It's a gain of 34. Well, one thing's for sure. They're going to have to come up with something at halftime because he is absolutely roasting them right now.
They're going to go through the whole litany of things, changing coverages, what are we going to do to put a man on him? The big thing to me is treat it like a good pitcher treats pitching a game. Change your timing, change your location. So sometimes you're up on him, sometimes you're back. Just change up the looks that he sees and make him just a little bit more hesitant.
So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. That's to the right side, complete to Kittle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. They'll wind up with 3 yards out of that, and it's 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his cap.
The ball popped in the air and intercepted. Picked off at the 13. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half.
This interception will go on the record of the quarterback, but as a receiver, you've got to understand where you are in the field. Middle portion, you know it's going to come in hot. Square your body to the quarterback and be ready to make the catch.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. So, all right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the third. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Patrick Mahomes on his way out for their next drive. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say, want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little bit. Maybe he'll have a chance to relax a little and kind of laugh and chuckle and let it go.
He'll hope to respond positively here to start the third quarter. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
I know the toss play begins with the guy taking the snap and turning around and tossing it to the runner. But where the real intrigue is, can they seal the edge? Whether it's an offensive tackle or a tight end in the direction they want to run the football. If they do that, that's the result that you get, that type of a gain. If they don't, oftentimes it's not a great.
And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game. On first down, Mahomes. He's going to take a shot for the end zone, and that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. The toss out to Barkley. Ricardo Allen, the safety, makes the stop.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did, to get them into a manageable third down, because they had incompletion on first down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
6 yards in the wrong direction that time. Not only that, but it brings up 4th.
And plays like that are exactly what this defense needs here early in the second half to give it a little spark. I think their halftime adjustments, what they talked about, maybe it was just a little inspirational speech. Who knows? But it looks like they're ready to go.
Now, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. And this is going to be incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Falcons defense stands tall. They'll get the football back. And you wonder, Charles, could that decision come back to haunt them later?
And it really could, because in this situation, you kick the field goal in a tight game like this, that's a good play. But maybe what he's saying to himself is, I'm just not a big proponent of the old idea that any possession that ends in a kick, I'm happy with. He wanted to be really aggressive.
A little twist here in the third quarter. On 2nd and 12, Ryan.
Another example right there how this defense really is winning the entire game at the point of attack.
Yeah, right there at the line of scrimmage, because they are dominating it. It allows their interior guys to get upfield and spill into the backfield. So how are you going to combat that? You know, basically bring in your tight end, keep him in. Your running backs, they have to step forward. Bottom line, your offensive line has to block them first to give yourself a chance.
They get only 4 that time, as that leads us to a 4th down.
A short game that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it. And a nice job here on special teams. This will be down inside the 10 at the 8-yard line. Now the Minnesota offense set to take over again. They had a great drive going last time. They were moving the ball, and then all of a sudden it just stalled out. So we'll see what they can do here, Charles.
And it's always easy to second guess when you don't get it on a 4th down try. But they had to like the feeling that they had going on offense. They want to continue to see if they can capture that again on this drive and maybe get in the same position.
Yeah, and that's, I mean, like I said, they were moving the football. It's not like they went 4 and out, so I don't think it's a deal where the offense doesn't have confidence.
No, I agree with you totally on that one. If anything, they may have gained more confidence. Okay, they stopped us once. That's all right. Let's keep moving it. Make them do it again.
The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win, because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they put
in trouble, and the ball's out. It's in the end zone loose. And Mahomes is going to go down in the end zone, and that is going to be a safety. And you know, the man who sat in my chair the last few years, he has a theory. These plays, these safeties, they're so rare. Maybe they should be worth more than 2, maybe 4 points.
I think he's got a great point. I really do, Brandon. But I would go ahead and up it to 6. I'm a former defender. Oh. To me, that's like scoring a touchdown.
Easy now. I'll go 4. I don't know about 6.
Come on. Come on, come up to 6.
A lot of points. Atlanta now coming out on the field.
These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
From the 35 on second down, Ryan.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Ryan now to throw on third down. Hit from behind, and he's going to be driven down. That's sacked by Khalil Mack.
Like how they've started the third quarter here. They forced a punt on the first drive, and after this sack, it looks like they'll be forcing another one as well.
Absolutely. Maybe got their second win coming out of the locker room. This is taken at the 15. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The offense takes the field, and we turn our attention to Saquon Barkley. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe the offensive line got a little overconfident. They had blocked so well in the first half, picked up on what the defense was doing. I think we've seen an adjustment now that they have not picked up on, and now they're being a little bit overwhelmed.
It's been a remarkable day at the office for him running the football. Those yards just continue to pile well past 100.
And how about more than double-digit carries in the second half alone? That's what you want as a runner because you've got to prove to your offensive line that you're going to be as tough as they are. They don't rotate in and out on every play. Running backs often do, so those who can stay out there with their offensive linemen, those are the guys they really value.
On the run, it's Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call that a loss of 5 yards on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. This one's still anybody's ball game. It's a 1-point difference here as we begin the 4th quarter of play. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Hey, 57, 57.
Now Mahomes. Flushed out right. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
And they had an extra defensive back on the field on that play, and the coverage was excellent. He tried to pull it down and run for it, but they rallied to him and kept him short of a 1st down.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Lets it fly for Thielen. And no, it's incomplete. The Vikings unable to convert here on 4th. And the Falcons will take control of the football in great field position. Well, they've got the slim deficit, decided to go for it, hoping to keep the football score and erase that deficit. But, boy, deep in their own territory like that?
Let's just say that with that call, me and the head coach will agree to disagree. All right, but he knew he wanted to be aggressive there, as you pointed out. So I guarantee he told his defensive coordinator, have your guys up and ready. I'm going to go for it here. If we don't get it, just make sure they're ready to go out there and bail us out.
This is Freeman on 1st and 10. And a 5-yard gain as he's down inside the 30 to the 28-yard line. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this.
Let's go, B. Big series right here.
2nd and 5 now. Ryan's got Hooper on the short connection. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
The throw right sideline here is complete. It's a pickup of 6.
Couldn't just sit on it here, could they? Had to throw the ball on 3rd down. Got the big completion in the pickup. Fresh set of downs now. They've got to feel great.
And defensively a backbreaker. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. And they'll work this down to the 15 for a pickup of 4. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. The slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy. Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make the play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big gain.
The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
So 1st and goal. 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They'll run here with Freeman. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets him closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. Good gain there on 1st down. It keeps them in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front. Good blocking. Nice hole for him. Ends up picking up nice yardage. Stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They're in check.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Bradley Chubb doing what he does best. getting that sack.
Well, this defensive unit certainly picked a great time to make a stand. Back-to-back sacks, starting with first and goal. I have to believe that they'll continue to bring...
And the pressure gets to him again. Anthony Barr comes rumbling in for the sack.
And it appears to me that someone's defensive coordinator is jockeying for a raise. A sack on second and goal, a sack on third and goal, now brings up a decision on fourth down.
So the field goal unit is on the field as this is a big spot right here. This just a 35-yard attempt from the left hash. The kick by Tavecchio is good, and that'll move their lead up to 4 now. So they get to 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. And now out comes Minnesota. And on that last drive, went for it on fourth, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on fourth down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28. They'll run it again with Barkley. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. A 1-yard gain there following the 3-yard pickup on first down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Ricardo Allen with a pick, and they will set up shop at their own 41-yard line. Well, when I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man.
And Freeman lost the football, and the Vikings pick up the football. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line.
I know when you're looking at the scoreboard clock, we're getting near the end of this game. But they were in what was really called 4-minute offense. And that's practice, being taking care of the football, taking time off the clock, not giving them a chance to come back. The bottom line is, what did I say in the beginning? Taking care of the football. That didn't happen.
Didn't do it. A costly turnover.
They need to block him down. Offense.
That's how the Pro Bowl guard from Notre Dame, Zach Martin. After the penalty, they go with Barkley. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Not in a position where they absolutely have to rush right now, but they definitely have to pick up the tempo a bit.
So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12. To throw is Mahomes. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Takk McKinley made his way into the backfield.
Okay, you know my bias is about to come out here. A lot of people think that the offense is just moving in the wrong direction. I'd say they're moving in the right direction.
And that's caught inside the 30. And all the way down to the 24-yard line. A big play there for Minnesota. And even 40 yards.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. Good coverage that time by the linebacker, Deion Jones. I want to go back to something you said in the first quarter.
Is it a positive?
It is a positive. Okay. About winning the turnover battle. And this is caught. Touchdown. And they've taken the lead here in the final minute.
Wow, I know it's a never say never situation, but to me, that looks like that's the one that's going to finish them off.
A score that puts them in front here late, but not. You got to rally your kick team, don't you, and say the last thing we need is a big return.
And what happens is guys get overeager, get out of their lane because they're so excited they want to make the last tackle. You mess up, could come back at you a long way.
They have gone to the fourth quarter, by the way, in that game in Cleveland. And it was the Browns that wound up winners in that one. Baker Mayfield, he was the story there with 4 touchdown passes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And with time of factor here late, he'll just take a knee, and they'll start things out at the 25. So Ryan and the Falcons down 21-18, 37 seconds to go. This is only week 1 of the season, folks. Get strapped in as they come up here 1st and 10. A fake to Freeman. Now it's Ryan. It's caught over the middle. Hooper. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Ryan. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. The Falcons going to use the second of their timeouts as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game. Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Back to throw. Throw left side complete. It's Jones. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
The penalty moves them into the red zone here on 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. This will be caught just inside the 10. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. One last shot for Ryan. And he's got it. It's caught for a touchdown. And they have taken the lead here in the final seconds.
So for those of little faith, guess what? It got done. They now have the lead with that touchdown this late in the contest. I wonder if that was a play they were holding or a play that they just knew would work from past experience.
Well, I just saw it in their eyes on the sideline before starting that last drive, and they did. You're right. They got it done. Looks like they're going to be the winners. Extra point up and good by Tavecchio. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. A drive there of just 4 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. This one taken from the 7. So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons. And, partner, I must say, good to see you again. Been too long. And it's good to have football back, isn't it?
Didn't you see me in preseason? Weren't we together in preseason?
Yeah, but preseason, you know, it's preseason. This is week 1.
Oh, you're trying to say real football.
Yeah, real football.
Not preseason football,
yeah,
where we shake down the rosters and figure out who's going to play, and maybe the starters don't play as much. Now it's the frontline guys from the first whistle.
Yeah, I tuned you out in the preseason. And now I'm listening to you. So for the Falcons, not much to complain about here. They come in and steal a victory in a tough place to play on a Sunday night. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for the Vikings, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team. Start your week by installing your game plan.